Hatsune Miku fans have been rejoicing over the last 12 weeks as jashin-chan Dropkick has arrived and Miku is the star. I kid, no. Dropkick on My Devil X, a third season of the jashin-chan Dropkick series, which I don't know at this point how this still exists. It's one of those series that I enjoy, but at the same time, it's always difficult to really sell anybody. I don't really go out of my way to sell somebody to check out the series. Though I will admit, joking aside, Hatsune Miku being in every episode was a big selling point. But yes, after crowdfunding and the now existence of a third season of Dropkick on My Devil, I'm here to give my review on the 12-episode series that aired in the summer 2022 anime season. So let's jump right into it. For those unfamiliar with the Dropkick on My Devil series, it essentially follows Yurine, who is this one girl living in Japan. At some point, she decides to summon something, and it summons Joshin, a demon. And what kind of comes from this is that Joshin doesn't like the idea that she's been basically summoned and enslaved by this Yurine, this human. So she's constantly trying to kill Yurine in order to free herself and so that she can return back to hell. Well, there's one big, huge problem. Despite the fact that Jashin-chan's no, pushover, Yurine is incredibly strong for a human, so every time that Joshin tries to take out Yurine, Yurine always turns the tables on her and just decimates her. And over time, what you kind of get is this culmination of this huge cast of characters. So many residents of Hell that know Joshin-chan will eventually show up and befriend Yurine. And you also have a lot of fallen angels from the heavens that come down and end up finding themselves getting stuck on Earth. It's a huge cast of characters that all have their own little quirks. The tomboyish Minos, the overly kind-hearted Medusa, who ends up being Joshin's ATM basically. Every time Joshin wants money, she goes to Medusa. And then from the angel side, you have Pekora, who is just very bad with money and making any money whatsoever, always living in poverty. It's just a crazy cast of characters. And then on top of that, with this season, you add Lirie, who is essentially Kami, who comes down, and then all the angels are afraid that she's come here to essentially dispose of the fallen angels that have failed. And then yes, Hatsune Miku out of nowhere just shows up and just adds something to each episode. And then towards the later part, you have a certain showing up of the vampires into the mix, which I thought was kind of an interesting addition at the very end. So my thoughts on Dropkick on My Devil X, or the third season of Dropkick on My Devil. Like I said before, this is kind of one of those series that I ultimately, in the end, enjoy watching. It's just a goofy show with a bunch of goofy characters that I've grown to love over time. I think early on, the big selling point the series has always had is that it's more of a slapstick, violent comedy. Constantly seeing Joshin-chan get destroyed in the most gruesome ways because she's ultimately trying to take down Yurine, or she's being disrespectful to other people, and Yurine's keeping her in check. But honestly, over time, Joshin has always been kind of the weakest link in the entire mix. There's a lot more fun to come from a lot of the side characters as they're introduced, and they have their own quirks to introduce to the whole mix of chemistry. But I will admit, over time, each one of them sort of get old. Yes, Medusa and the ATM joke. Pekora and the fact that they always have trouble with money. Mei, the police officer that's obsessed with cute things and gathering things and doing terrible illegal stuff even though she's a cop. But thankfully over time they kind of shift away from each character and they go into new characters on a regular basis, always adding something else to the mix. Although you could make an argument that they have at this point have so many characters added to the chemistry that it kind of often in some cases gets a little muddled. But to that point though, Lirie was awesome. I really did love the addition of Lirie, this kami, this god that comes down, and she's trying to hide the fact that she's kind of weak, but at the same time also hiding the fact that because she has taken the form of a child, she likes cute, childish things, and so people constantly make fun of her. This whole bit where Joshin knows that she wants to play on this toy that's on the corner of the street is absolutely hilarious because she keeps trying to sneak in earlier in the day, and Joshin's always waiting there for her to grin at her and make her admit that she wants to ride it. And like I said, adding the vampires at the end of it was really great. I think that if they continue on the series, I'll really love seeing this very weak vampire that just at the same time has her own delusions of grandeur. Now this gets me to probably the biggest problem that this season alone faced. I think because this third season was crowdfunded, it really did feel like they were trying to pay the bills. A good probably 80% of this entire season is literally advertisements for different locations. At some point, Joshin-chan incurs a lot of debt. So it goes to this whole period of time where Joshin's trying to run from the debt collectors, and she's constantly going to different locations, and they're obviously advertisements for those different areas. So you literally have like 90% of each of these episodes in the middle where all it is just basically them talking about some great food that's there, some great food stall, this great monument, oh check out this tree, yeah this is a staple of this area, and it It's not like it's hiding it. It really tries to make fun of the fact that they are literally just going to each location. But at the same time, it's pretty obvious that they're going out of their way to tell you about something that, unless you're interested in the area, you're extremely bored watching. It got me to a point where I almost felt like just skipping through everything that looked like it was obviously an advertisement for an area just to get to the punchlines that were at each episode. Which, yes, in most cases, they had some fun, goofy fun at the end of them. But it doesn't excuse the fact that it really felt like an advertisement. It felt like a commercial, stealing what little chemistry and goofiness that we have out of the characters and focusing directly on that. I think the only thing that I was perfectly fine with that felt like an advertisement was Miku's introduction, because it seems like somebody behind the scenes had a collaboration between Dropkick on My Devil and Hatsune Miku, and so they decided to throw Hatsune Miku into every single episode. And so yes, there was a part of me that each episode I was just looking for the point in which Hatsune Miku would show up, because we don't get anything with anime and Hatsune Miku. So it's just like, yes, I have Hatsune Miku in here, and she's great, and she's adorable. Did a fantastic job on voicing her, did a fantastic job on rendering her as a character design, because, to be truthful, I've always loved the character designs in Dropkick on My Devil. I think they're really fantastic, and the animation they did in this season, despite it being crowdfunded and seemingly paid for by different districts, was really well done. It didn't feel like a budget project. It felt like they put a lot of passion, a lot of great animation in here. And so yes, Hatsune Miku looked really fantastic, and I think they did an incredible job with her. Just managing to capture her very cute personality, also capturing her in different ways, like her being a delivery person, her just helping with this advertisement, her being captured by the police officer just to have somebody from the company come by and bring her home. She's always like pure natured. Like they managed to capture this pure nature of Hatsune Miku, despite the fact that most of it's kind of semi-crude, violent humor in the series. She was always kind of this innocent thing that was just kind of a bystander. If Joshin-chan gets brutally murdered, she kind of comes by with a leek and starts poking at her. Or Joshin-chan steals her leeks. She's like, that's fine, I could just go buy another one. She's just really pure. Ultimately, in the end, I will say that despite the fact that I really like Lirie, I love the addition of Hatsune Miku, I love the last 2 episodes with Akute, the rest of the series was kind of a bog down with all these advertisements for different districts. But even without that, like I said before, I don't necessarily go out of my way to suggest people watching Jashin-chan Dropkick. Like I said, it's sort of just a series that I've been watching for a long time. I enjoy the characters. Urine's amazing, and I think with the chemistry they keep adding to it, there's always something to find here, despite the fact that I'm not rolling on the floor laughing every single episode. With all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Dropkick on My Devil X. If you did, I would appreciate if you go down below and hit that like button. Leave me a comment, let me know if you've been checking out the series or if you're going to be checking it out. Or just give a shout out if you love Hatsune Miku. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate if you just hit that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. I greatly appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.